Insert awesome line from game now. Good enough.
You will never win.
You have no idea how excited I am to play one of my favorite games on N64, let alone one of my favorite fighting franchises. Nipple touching excited? What? What? Well, anyways, today we're going to be looking at the Mortal Kombat Trilogy on the N64. Isn't technology wonderful? Yes. Yes, it is. Released in 1996, Mortal Kombat Trilogy is an anthology collection of Mortal Kombat Ultimate, 3, 2, and 1, with the levels and character designs all mixed in together. Similar to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Mortal Kombat Trilogy was looked forward with much anticipation. Very good, very excellent, very clean indeed, very clean. Compared to on 16-bit consoles like the Super NES and Genesis, the sprites, background, and detail overall was incredibly high. One of the biggest advantages N64 had over its CD brethren was the ability to quick load into memory from its storage. This way of dynamic storage was incredibly helpful when it came to fighting games like Mortal Kombat Trilogy. See, when loading on a CD, the game has a slightly higher load time when matches started, and playing 2v2 and 3v3, the game must load each additional character when they're introduced. Most notoriously, Shang Tsung on the game has a very small load hiccup when morphing as well on the CD console, but does not on the N64. Now, even though I do love this game, I'm not blind to its shortcomings. Sound direction being the biggest one. Now, I'm not one to really cry hard when it comes to sound fidelity, but I am also not going to give a blind eye on something as obvious as this. You see, nostalgia can work really hard, but when it comes to solid punch and bass of the sound, you know what, it has that. But, with the voice clips and music, you can obviously tell it's very compressed on the N64 compared to what's on the CDs on the PlayStation or even the Sega Saturn. They're more close to the arcade version, but ironically though, the N64 has better tracks intact that do not cut off early. It's okay. I still love you. I won't let them talk bad about you anymore. Stay away from me and my son. Now, one of the reasons why I want to start with the shortcomings of this game is mainly because anytime people talk about the N64 version, they always point out two main things. The first thing they always point out is the sound quality of the game itself, and the second thing they always point out is... Now it's time for a Wiki's fun fact. Due to cartridge size limitations, only 30 characters were included instead of 37 like on the other console versions. The N64 part lacked the Goro Kentaro, the classic version of Jax, Kung Lao, Kano, and as well as Raiden with the unmasked Sub-Zero. However, the masked Sub-Zero can be performed both Sub-Zero special moves. Chameleon was also replaced with another secret character called Chameleon. It is a great female ninja that switches randomly between Kitana, Melina, and Jade. The N64 version of this game, like Mortal Kombat 3 and Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, provides a player with an alternate combat code screen. After a single-player game is over, where a 6-digit code can be entered, and you can even unlock Human Soak and Chameleon for normal play. You know, it's actually funny. I really forgot that this game even used these codes when I was replaying. I saw it, I remember when I saw it, but when you can't remember from your childhood, these codes were supposed to be special codes all around. They had them hidden in magazines and hidden in game books and codes all around and ads, and you were just like, oh, cool. And let me be honest, there's only 2 codes, maybe 3, that was actually worth it. They had the Galaga one, they had the Pong one, I think there was a Space Invader one, and those were the only cool ones. All the other ones just sucked. Because God knows that I love to put in a code to put in Dark Combat that completely disables all light until you actually hit your opponents, or Psycho Combat, which gives you a combination of disabilities and disabled things plus Dark Combat on top of that. You know what? The only fun I get out of that is having a darked out room with the lights flickering and there's a little makeshift rave going. Now, mind you, some of the things in the N64 version I really do enjoy. I remember playing the 3 vs 3, which I actually found out was exclusive to the N64 version, and I love doing that with the little endurance matches against friends. And one of my favorite modes was the 8-player like deathmatch battle royale arena. I just love knocking out through the different characters, building up on that, and like here's the craziest thing. Let's say you're really good. Well, on the next match over, on the next bracket, your friend's gonna get whoever you won with on the second match. So if you end up getting stuck with some nerd group, or they get, it's just insane how that game was so fluid. And I mean, like the arcade and all that part was fairly good. Everything was solid on it. I just mostly remember playing against friends when playing this game. And don't forget about the broken AI that will literally rape you out when you go fight. If you fight against a very hard computer and you're not prepared for it, you try to do the champion ladder, boom, you're knocked out and you're on the ground dead. And here's the craziest thing, just a little secret between me and you. The actual AI will likely perform more fatalities and brutalities and other stuff when playing on a harder difficulty, just to kind of rub it right in there. No, No, I did not forget. Now I'd like to get a couple facts straight about me. I suck at Mortal Kombat when it comes to versing a computer. Like, I'm not a complete bad player, but a computer is very good at skirting and kiting me so hard, I feel dumb after playing them on the harder difficulties. Hell, I've never even beat the top tier tower in anything lower than when it comes to easy. And for me, it's almost like instant death for the way the computer can combo me and how late I am blocking. So it's like, no thanks. But I will say this, beating the game gives you what's called the lost treasures of Shao Kahn. And most of them suck, and it's not even worth picking them. But the messed up part is you don't even know what the actual prizes are when you're going to pick them. They're just random icons, literally random icons put across on the 2 rows, and there's no hints, there's no rhyme or reason, there's nothing for what they are. And like, there's some cool ones. Like, there's one that shows what happened after to the character you're playing in the tournament. There's one where you get like demonstrations of the fatalities, animalities, and the brutalities, all that. You get demonstrations of that, which is really cool. And then you get stuff like fight smoke, or defeat this endurance match, or shit like that. Like, honestly, that's dumb. That's not a prize for going through a gauntlet. That's almost like a punishment. And then, like, they have Pong and have Galaga and they have the Space Invaders Mortal Kombat game, which is really cool, except for the fact that you can just put in a code and get those. So why would I want to pick those? I usually defaulted on the other versions to do the ultimate demonstration, and then on the N64 one, I usually end up doing the like fatality ones just to see it, because that's pretty cool. But to even get the end of the 2nd row, it's insane what they want you to do. Oh, also, if you're like me and you don't feel like guessing on the N64 on which one's worth picking, I'm gonna put right here, in my little hand, all the different items and the rows and stuff they do. And I'll highlight like my personal favorites on which ones are actually worth picking if you beat the tournament or beat it. Now, be aware, in order to get the end of the 2nd row, you do have to do a little special extra with the challenge match. But you know what? It's pretty solid. Pretty solid list right here. I mean, I can totally see the list right here in the air. Yep, that's one too. It's a good one. Now, in order to lock the full 2nd row, the player must beat the champion tower while under a secret endurance mode. And the way you activate is by going to the character select screen, highlight Kano, press down plus start, and the whole screen will shake. And you know what? You're in for one hell of a time, because this mode's insane. The computer cheats, they have multiple endurance modes, and honestly, you're better off I abused it and won this by setting the combo system for me on auto just to cheese it. Now quick, say your favorite fighter. Sub-Zero, of course, with the classic lockdown plays. I pick Shiva. She has an easily done 51% combo that I can knock out every time. Nerd, playing the number games, huh? Now, anyways, we should actually talk about and now a list of all the Mortal Kombat fighters in the game. No, you're not gonna make Wiki read all that, right?
And now it's time for Wiki reads a crazy long list and gets laryngitis because Eric can't figure out a way to rattle off a long list of information.
Do it.
You know there's like 30 names here, right? Whatever, fine, I'll just do it. The characters are as follows. Noob Saibot, Baraka, Johnny Cage, Sonya, Raiden, Rain, Cyrax, Scorpion, Reptile, Jax, Sector, Liu Kang, Jade, Shiva, Luke, Kung Lao, Smoke, Nightwolf, Sindel, Enrix, Sub-Zero, Striker, Cabal, Katana, Kano, Shang Tsung, Melina, and hidden playable characters as Human Smoke, Shao Kahn, Motaro, and Chameleon, the female ninja.
Are you okay? And now a list of the stages.
I mean, it can't surely be that many levels. Let me take a look here. There is 30 levels.
And now a list of the stages.
All right. The levels are as follows. You have the Wasteland, the Courtyard, the Deadpool, the Rooftop, the Lair, the Armory, the Tomb, Scorpion's Lair, Kane's Cave, Living Forest, the Portal, the Subway, the Street, the Pit, Bell Tower, the Star Bridge, the Tower, the River, Combat, Jade's Desert, the Hidden Portal, the Graveyard, the Pit 2, the Pit 3, Soul Chamber, King's Tower, Lost Bridge, the Pit Bottom, King Temple, Noobs, Dwarfin.
And now his voice is dead. Well, he's gonna have to get his strength up somehow because he's gonna be going on the road soon. Now here's something that I never noticed as a kid, but as an adult playing this game, I I have to address it, and I realized it when playing actually for this review. Now you see...
Now, the standard N64 controller is not really meant to be played with a game like this. Something that needs direct button input, and it gave myself slight abrasion burns on my thumbs from doing rolling inputs during the fight. Now, you're probably saying, well, why don't you use the analog? And I tried, and I did, but the problem is you don't get direct input and end up messing up a couple of my special moves when trying to set them off.
I had abrasion burns? Did you forget about Mario Party? That stuff is like if Saul had a video game adaptation of it made in order for you to beat your friends. It was like Jigsaw was going around going, in order to win, you must first destroy your palms. Oh God, those memories are flashing back. Well, anyways, final thoughts on this game is that it still holds up incredibly well. This poor Mortal Kombat Trilogy especially is like the Smash Bros. Ultimate of its time. Has all the fires you would care about, has everything in there that you would need. It's a great party game. I mean, even though it only supports 2 controller, easily you can get 3 other people in there on the 8-player down battle royale match set up with the tiers. And I mean, it holds up really well, especially for any fans who are really in the fighting game but doesn't need to go too hardcore to still enjoy it. So if your friends don't have good standards for fighting games, then kind of let you pick whatever you want to play. You monster. It's time for an outro. The outro goes down here. The outro like this. I have no idea because it's incredible to say thank you. But no, seriously though, thank you guys for watching. And that's really it. I really appreciate it, and just continue doing this because it's a fun little hobby. So thank you very much, guys, and I'll see you for the next episode for Clay Fighters. So.